Amen. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. I want to finish our Bible study from last week. I intentionally did it in two parts because I knew it was too much to cover in one session. I want us to go to Matthew chapter 16. Go to Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 16. Matthew chapter 16. Verse number 24. Verse number 24. I need the original. If you have the original King James Version, read it out of that. The original King James Version. Y'all have it? This is what the Bible says. Then Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever will save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what would it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul?" Let's go to the A part of that. Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Y'all got that? And so the whole purpose for this Bible study series is for us to realize that there is truly a difference between being a disciple and a difference between being a Christian, right? And the reality is, y'all, the qualifications, the ask, and all of that, the requirements for being a Christian just ain't that high, right? Because the way we've been taught to be Christians, right? If you look at it, being a Christian has nothing to do with a biblical principle of following Christ, right? Being a Christian is merely what we've been taught to do and how to do, right? How many of you were just raised up in church? If my grandma was here, she said reared in church. How many of them reared in church, right? Now, Tracy, we were reared in the same church, right? So I'm gonna see if you can walk with me and help me, right? All we was taught when we were growing up, right, is what not to do, right? And they taught us the things we could do, they taught us how to do them, right? It was so much what you couldn't do as a Christian. Like right now, if I was at the church that I grew up in, me and Spivey would be immediately I was going to say kicked out. We wouldn't get kicked out because they wouldn't let us in the church. Right? All of y'all with jeans on. They ain't letting y'all in church. Right? And watch this. Here's the crazy thing about it. They thought they were doing the right thing, not realizing that they're just following a principle of what some dead man said 100 years ago. Right? And so that's why I'm real particular about how we function as a community of kingdom, because how we function as a community of kingdom really has nothing to do with how we've been taught to live and sing and dress as Christians. Lady D, can you go tell them? Okay, so y'all understand what I'm saying, right? Somebody say, however. how some of us live, act, move, navigate, right, as Christians, is really far from what God expects us to. Right? Now, let me get rid of this notion. Wait, let me say this first. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to say what I'm about to say. For everyone who believes that somebody's lucky that you're participating in church, for everybody that feels that for some reason the church is lucky that you show up to church, for everybody who feels that the pastor's lucky that you go do this and that, right? I want to make this very abundantly clear to you, right? This goes for all of us. God don't need you, right? Watch this. You ready? Everybody he intended and purposed to go to heaven is going with or without you, right? So get this mindset, right? I am a privileged service, right? I'm a privileged servant, right? I'm not needed in the kingdom. God allows me to function in the kingdom, right? That's what I taught long ago. You should never say, I got to go to church. You should say, I get to go to church. Because there's a lot of people who's willing to trade places with you, right? So, number one, you need to understand that God does not need you. He wants you, right? Now, I said I was going to say something first, but I forgot what I was going to say. And so to keep the Bible study flowing, I can't sit back and try to remember what I was about to say. But I'm sure I remember it midway through the Bible study. Is that good enough? Okay, so I want us to understand that our jobs is, God, how can I be acceptable unto you? What can I do to make you proud of me? Right? That's our goal, right? My goal is not for my pastor to be proud of me. My goal is not for my church member to be proud of me. My goal is not for my homegirl, my homeboy to be proud of me. My goal is when God looks at me, what does he see? Is he proud? Right? Because watch this. Here it is. Can we go deep? Can y'all handle this? Right? A disciple is a giver. Right? A disciple is a servant. A disciple has a natural and spiritual built-in desire to have other people come to Christ, right? A disciple is a person who would do whatever they have to do and can do on the behalf of Jesus Christ and do it with pleasure, right? It shouldn't be a chore to be a disciple. Somebody say, he remembered what he was going to say. Stop telling people, and stop letting people tell you that being a disciple is all bad, it's all suffering, it's all crying, it's all headache, it's all trouble, it's all trial. That is crazy foolishness. The reason why we think that way is because we only focus on what's wrong and never the privileges of grace. Right? We only think about when we don't have food. But we never think about the 99% of the times we did have food. Right? We lost our focus on what grace looks like. Right? There's a pastor, I forget his name. I don't want to steal it. I want y'all to think I made this up because it ain't mine. But I forgot his name. Anyway, I can't remember his name. I can see him in my head. I can't remember his name. He was preaching in Houston, and he was telling a story about how he went to the QT, right? And when he went to the QT, y'all, guess what he seen? He seen a homeless man digging through trash, right? Get this. Somebody say grace. He seen a homeless man digging through trash, right? And Devin, when he was digging through trash, his whole soul got happy. Because he found one bag. It had a half-eaten hamburger. He had about 7 or 8 cold French fries and a quarter cup of cold Coca-Cola. And his soul was happy. Do y'all know what that man did next? Before he ate the food that he found in the trash, he closed his eyes and thanked God for it. Right? He closed his eyes and thanked God for it, right? Sometimes we got to get to a place that everything about us is from a place of grace, an attitude of grace, an attitude of thankfulness, right? Because I don't want nobody to tell me that ever since I done got saved, Lord have mercy, the devil been throwing me through the ringer. No. It ain't that the devil been sending you through the ringer, right? You've been going through the ringer. Now that you recognize God, you now recognize who the enemy is. Because before you receive Christ, you blamed all that on something else. Right? My husband, my wife, my cousin, my mama, my uncle. But then when you realize who Christ is, then you know that there's a valid attack on your life. Right? Somebody say all scriptures. Yes, weeping may not endure for a night, joy will come in the morning. I agree with that. But the Bible also says that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to be like, God, you got me. I trust you. Whatever thy will be whatever thy will is, Lord, I want it to be done. Matter of fact, can you ever get that bold enough and say, God, let it be done? I don't care if I like it, let it be done. I don't care if it feel good, but let it be done. No, we don't want that. We want the cushy, simple, easy life of discipleship. I remember there's a famous evangelist, y'all. I'm not going to say no names. But there's a famous evangelist that all he preaches is what good going to happen to you. The only God that he's ever drawn was his beautiful, nice, gracious, perfect God. You know the God. The God that'll only open up windows, not the God that'll also close doors. Right? And it's funny, every time he preaches, right? It ain't never my fault. I like it. Oh, don't worry. It's not your fault. It's the enemy's attack on your life. No, it's your fault. You did it, right? And the reason why, here it is, the reason why some of us can't come out of what we're in is because we are too ignorant to realize that it is our fault. Somebody say ignorant. Before you get offended, let me tell you what ignorance is. Ignorance is simply without knowledge. Okay? Because I know some people look to get offended these days, right? Ignorance just means you're without knowledge, right? But you got to learn how to tighten up your own bootstraps and be like, the reason why I'm in here, in this situation, is because of what I did. When you get grown and mature in faith, when you be like, you know what? I knew I was going to end up here. I'm not surprised I was going to end up here. I knew if I didn't handle things differently, this is where I was going to end up. And lo and behold, here we are. Right? So I want us to understand, discipleship is not their spiritual sentence to heavenly or hell prison. Discipleship is an identity of who we truly are, right? So last week we had 1 through 6. I thought I did 1 through 4, but I guess I didn't. So let's go with number 3. Oh, starting next year, when we come to Bible study, have a pen and a paper. Have a pen and a paper. You cannot retain what you cannot see. Amen? Okay, y'all ready? I think we did this from last week, but I didn't do it like I felt it. I sure didn't do it like I wrote it. Okay. Wait, hold on. How many do I got? Hold on. Okay, number 4. This time I'm going to stay on task. You ready? A true disciple elevates relationship over religion, right? Relationship pushes you to be the person God expects of you, right? When you have true relationship with God and not religion. Let me tell you something. Sooner or later, religion will die. Sooner or later, religion will no longer scratch you where you itch. Period. Because watch this. Here it is. Here it is. Grab this. Sooner or later, God will place you into certain testing spaces that religion's arms are not low enough to reach you. Right? That's why there's sometimes that we go through stuff in life, right? And we do what we've been taught to do, right? And still our life doesn't change. I don't care how many times you do that, and it's not going to change, right? Because my source is based on my relationship with God. And whatever I need, my source has it, right? Because watch this, you ready? Religion is shallow, but relationship is deep, right? Y'all hear me? Religion is branches, but relationship is roots. You want me to prove it? Okay. If you notice that when the fall comes, y'all got it? When the fall comes, the leaves always fall off the trees. Am I lying? But when the spring comes, the leaves grow back. Let's do that again. In the fall, the leaves always fall off the trees. But in the spring, the leaves grow back. You never want to be in a relationship with anything that only changes according to the surrounding conditions. I don't have time. Listen, I don't want to serve a God who changes with the seasons. I can't deal with a winter God, then a fall God, then a summer God, then a spring God. No, I need the God that the Bible says yesterday, today, and forevermore. I need the same God, right? Because if I'm dealing with the same God, then I get the same provision, right? So what do you do in the fall when the provisions run out because the leaves fell down? You mean you're gonna have to go through the winter suffering, right? I can't wait till April to get here for my life to change. No, my relationship with God is not based off of leaves, it's based off of roots. Right? And so you got to understand, y'all, I don't care how many times. Can I go deeper? Listen, so y'all can understand my heart. On Sunday, I don't care how many times y'all come up here. Stop doing that. Stop needing prayer every week. Stop rededicating every week. Stop asking for forgiveness every week. Come on, fall. Because you can't be the same disciple today as you were 3 years ago. Where you gonna grow up? You know why you can't grow up? You can't grow up because your relationship ain't grew. You know the only thing that grew? Your church experience. Somebody say go deeper. I don't care how many times you wear your t-shirt. If there's no growth, there's no growth. And the reason why you're at the same need that you are is because you're in the same place that you were. That's why, right? Somebody say discipleship. Okay, you ready? Listen. Oh, this is good right here. This is kind of what I'm saying. And I want us to understand this. Y'all ready for this? Let me see what I wrote down again. I thought I was going to remember. Okay, you ready? This is what I want you to get. It's blasphemy to suggest that you can grow in church, right, and not grow in Christ. Right? Do you mind if I keep it real? There are some people, y'all don't mind this, right? There are some people, if you see them when they're at church, they appear to have grown in church. Oh, she's just so different now. Praise the Lord. Right? But as soon as they leave here, they never go back to who they were. Because when they leave here, they've never changed who they were there. They only changed who they were inside of here. Right? And now when folks see you outside of church, you confuse the heck out of them. Because they be like, wasn't you just the one? Right? Somebody say, go deeper. The reason why some people won't follow you to church is because they don't believe in the God you serve. Can I go deeper? Some people, so see, that's why I say, y'all, you got to watch how you act when you're away from church, right? Let me get everybody settled in. Go on back there, baby. Go on back there. Go back there with the kids. Come on. You walking like that, like you done paid for the whole church. Go on, baby. Go ahead. She got her hands in the pocket. What's up? What y'all doing? She cold and I'm burning up. So watch this. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I just had this conversation too with somebody. I'm not going to tell y'all who it was, right? The reason why some people don't allow you to disciple them is because they don't believe who you are. That's why you always got to be careful who you with, who you hang out, and what you do when you with them. Somebody say go deeper. Listen, when you're dealing with discipleship, all that he's still working on me, they're going to fade away sooner or later. I mean, it's good the first 2 times. Can I tell y'all what most pastors won't tell y'all? Can I be honest with y'all? Listen. Let's be deep. Really, you gonna get me. You gonna get me. I'm not saying don't smoke. I'm saying stop smoking with them. No. Oh, Lord, I'm going to be on church laughs in the morning. I believe it. Watch this. You ready? Here it is. Don't allow your blunt to ruin your discipleship. It's okay. Baby, go home, go in the garage, do it by yourself. But don't kill your witness for a cheap high. You feel what I'm saying? Don't kill your witness. Right? You got all these people that look up to you. And they seeing this change in your life. And next thing you know, you rolling with them. And it changes everything about them that they thought of you. And then you be like, come go to church with me for a while. You feel what I'm saying? So what does that mean? That means you got to make sure that your witness is greater than your ego. Can we, Tracy, you mind if I go deeper? The reason why some of y'all don't grow is because your ego too big. You think you bigger than God. Right? Watch this. Your ego is so big, you're not willing to change who you are in order to fit the job description that he put out. Then you get this thing in your mind that somebody is lucky that you serving. Baby, you ain't serving, you uplifting yourself. Can we go, oh my God. Now I'm just touching stuff I've been wanting to say for a long time, right? Remember what I said, how do we start? God don't need you, right? God does not, he wants you, but he does not need you. In every aspect of our life, we ought to say to ourselves, how am I representing God? Right? And that's why, let me say this to my people that just got baptized. Everybody who just got baptized, raise your hand the last month. Let me tell y'all something. From this point on, you got to manage how people see you. You see what I'm saying? From this point on, you got to manage how people see you, right? Now listen. They won't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this, right? Because when people see you come out of the water, right, but they see nothing has changed about you, they going to think all you did was took a bath at church. Right? Because watch this. For so long, we think it's something special in the water. There's nothing special in the water. It should be something different in the soul. Right? And then when there's nothing different in the soul, then they penalize the water. And say, baptism doesn't do nothing. No, it's not that baptism doesn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. And so you got to be careful, right? Because watch this, when they see you, and they see you walking outside of the will of God, then they don't want nothing to do with the God you say you serve. First of all, there's so many gods out here anyway. You have the little Jesus everywhere, little G's, right? And so what they did, so if they don't want to serve yours because of the way you are, then they're going to look for their own. Oh my God, somebody said go deeper. And what y'all don't realize, a lot of us got little Jesus everywhere. You remember last time we talked about, matter of fact, here it is. I'm just going to move to the next segment. Somebody say little G's. True discipleship, a true disciple values a commitment over convenience. Whoo. I dare you to turn to your neighbor and say, here he go. A true disciple values his commitment to God over the convenience of it. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Somebody say little God. Little God is the God that you serve that keeps you from your big God. I said little God, your little God is the God you serve that creates distance between the capital G, right? And the sad part about it, y'all, I'm sorry to tell y'all, but y'all got little G's everywhere. You don't even know it. Matter of fact, some of your little G's at home right now. Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you? Yeah. So some of your little G's, they still at the field. Some of your little G's, they still in the room. Hotel room, that is. So some of your little G's, it's still on the corner just waiting to be sold to you. Do they still do that? Some of your little G's, what are your little G's? Your little G's is everything that you have allegiance to that interferes with your relationship with God. Yeah. Anything that keeps you from being a disciple, anything that keeps you from serving, right? That's what I can tell. Listen, don't tell my, who been here for a long time, more than 4 years? Who been here? Okay, so they going to tell y'all I'm not lying. I can always tell when somebody got a new man. I can always tell. I can tell when you get them. I can tell when y'all broke up. Right? I can always tell. Right? Because what happens is when your influence changes, your behavior changes. Did y'all hear what I just said? When your influence changes, your behavior changes. Jail over there like, oh, Lord, he talking to me. Right? I can always tell. You used to come up in here every Sunday, everywhere. We are soldiers in the army. We have to fight. You just own it. Right? Then next thing I know, now you're being late all the time. Now you got to pick one. I'm going to church, I'm going to Bible study. Right? Now you're late and you're leaving early. The next thing you know, you ain't here at all. And then you try to run game. Right? Pop on the live Sunday morning. Good morning, EBC. Ain't seen you no more on the live. Right? Right? Then next thing you know, you just out of there. And then what happens is, watch this, you ready? When you break up, you be too ashamed to come back. What am I saying? It might not be no man. It might not be no woman. Because we guilty too. Right? But you got to ask yourself, what keeps me from my commitment to God? Because let me tell you something. Discipleship doesn't require convenience. It's going to be inconvenient sometimes. Right? I go back to this. I'm going to probably say this as long as I'm pastoring. Right? If we had, DeShandra, if we had activities, we already knew if it was on a Sunday, the answer is no. Right? I don't get it. Lord have mercy. This post-COVID Christianity thing, baby, God just got to get in where he fit in now. Oh, let me say this real quick. If you get offended easily, I'm sorry. Right? If you feel guilty, no, I'm not talking about you. Right? If it hurt, just say ouch and just handle it. Right? Because here it is, watch this. When things are good in our lives, right, we want to make sure in order for us to serve, it has to be convenient for us and it has to fit into our schedule. Right? One of the greatest things, I tell people all the time, listen to what I'm saying. I tell people all the time, the reason why we moved to 12 o'clock is because 9 o'clock was too early. But the reality was 9 o'clock was not too early, right? 9 o'clock was just too early for us to get up, right? It wasn't convenient. Oh, Pastor, I can get up at 9 and brush my teeth and cook my dinner, and you could have got up at 5 and did that, right? But it has to be convenient. I don't mind serving, but it got to fit in my schedule, right? But when you were down going through it and you needed him, you didn't ask him what his schedule was. God, just come see about me right now, meet my need right now, right? And I'm not saying, for everybody that had they part 2 meetings at the Bible study, I'm not saying that you can't do this, you can't do this. Because listen, Christianity does not require you to be handcuffed. Right? It does not. Yes, you're going to miss a Sunday. Yeah. But let that be an occurrence and not a DNA. Right? I tell everybody all the time, the mistake I made, my mama will verify it. I think I pastored here, DeShandra, 9 years before I missed a Sunday. Right? Every Sunday, I had to be on my post. Shoot. Baby, listen. Let me tell y'all something right now. First of all, when I get married, ain't no telling when we coming back. Right? Right? But then watch what he does, Ivory. He said, sir, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm going to send you some more. I'm going to send you some more help. Don't worry about it. You chill. Right? Because I believe in a Christian resting. Right? But the only thing I don't want to do is lay down on his dime. Right? I don't want my missing to become greater than my going. And on top of that, y'all, watch this. Y'all ready? So we can get this out the way. Going to church is a byproduct of being a disciple. Going to church don't make you a disciple. Right? Just like, I think of Tamika that posted, just like you can sit in your garage for 18 hours and you will never become a car. So going to church don't make you a disciple. Going to church don't prove you're a disciple. Right? Somebody say go deeper. Not only does going to church not prove that you're a disciple, right? Here it is. Not bringing anybody to church with you don't prove you're a disciple. Why? Because as a disciple, my job is to make sure that I lead people to Christ. I told a member not too long ago, they got their feelings. Pastor, I tried. They keep telling me no. Then why they keep going to your party? Huh? Try that harder. Right? They go to your party on a mass text. But you got to beg them to go to worship? Let me tell you something. The beauty that I function in right now is knowing that people that I love are saved. Because y'all don't know how it is. When I got to do a funeral, I don't know these people, that I got to lie and say going up yonder and the pearly gates. And in my heart, I'd be like, right? But watch this. You ought not wonder if somebody you love is going to heaven. Like, how ludicrous is that? Ooh, I love you. That's my dog. That's my homegirl. That's my sis. That's my this. That's my, y'all got so many names for people these days. Right? But you're okay with them going to hell. Imagine that. Right? The greatest moment of my life was baptizing my son. Child, I almost fell out. Right? I almost fell out. Because I know, watch this. Here it is. Devin, my job is to lead you to Christ. My job is not to tell you how to live once you led to Christ. Right? I let God work on you. I just want to introduce you to him. Right? The beauty, y'all, listen to this. I was looking over the pulpit. DeShandra, I'm not trying to front. This ain't about you, okay? This is about my Bible study, right? I was looking over the pulpit Sunday, and I'm looking over here, and I'm looking over there, and I said, Lord, that poor girl got her husband her family, everybody in the family, all in one church, right? And I started to say, right, I know she been praying about this. Because they don't know what we know, do they, DeShandra? And they don't know the tears you done had to cry, the anger you went through, the prayers you prayed, and then look at what God does. Look what God does. Look what God does. That's why I tell people all the time, men, Travis, hold on, I'm going to get it. Hold on. Baby, what's his name? Zach. I knew it was a regular name. I'm not used to that because all of my people is NIA something. You know. So Sean and DeAndre and Devin and Zach and Andy, y'all know what I be tripping on, right? It wasn't too long ago I come in here and got the preacher teach to all women, and I couldn't say what I want to say because they outnumber me and they can jump on me. Ask anybody that knows me. I just been praying for men. And now men be pulling up at Bible study. What? I brought my Bible, what? Right? Matter of fact, man, this is what I want y'all to start doing. Because they've been taking advantage of for many years. Next time you pull up at church, you look at the woman and say, what? Yeah, we're here. Yeah, we're here. Right? Because that's what discipleship is all about. The beauty of seeing your love people introduced to Jesus. The beauty of being a vessel. Somebody say vessel. God is using me to bring people to him. And then watch this. Think about this. With your no good, filthy self. Ain't that something? Like watch this. How many of y'all did something wrong this week? How many of you sinned this week? How many of you did something that wasn't pleasing to God this week? Right? And then, wait, I'm sorry, yeah, today. But listen. Even in spite of, God still uses you. Even in spite of. God says, listen, you don't even know this. Boy, I had a whole testimony about you the other day. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. You don't even know it, right? I even told Deshandra, right? Somebody, 3-4 years ago, maybe 5, because y'all wasn't close to being married then, right? They told me, and the sad part about it, somebody you can to, right? And so watch this. Here it is. That's, well, I tell everybody right now, don't tell me if you don't want to tell. Because I got to know, no, don't pass or nothing, right? Don't be messy. I talked to you in covenant, now you talked to me in message, hoping I wasn't going to tell them. So just so you know, don't call me talking about nobody, because I'm merging them in. I'm merging them in. Now, there you go. Shoes. Because what you can't do as a disciple is tear down people's character in privacy. Just stand on it. You said it, stand on it. Hold on, but they say what now? How much, what you do? Okay, yeah, hold on, baby. Let me get her on the phone. I need her to defend herself. Hold on. Yeah, that's what you do. So, but watch this. But somebody told me, to that boy Tyrone, he ain't going to ever go to church. Ever go to church. Set foot in church. You ain't going to see him in church. See, let me tell you about people. Some people, you ready, will wish for the failures of others because they can't get over the failures of the people that they're connected to. Right? If your husband won't go to church, you don't want their husband to go to church. If your husband got drug problem, you want their husband to go to church. No, baby, some of us coming out of that whack business. Right? Because watch this, here it is, watch this. I need us to understand, right, that God does not shine on us tearing other people down. That's why he's clear. How can you, did y'all catch the audacity in this statement? How can you say you love me? Oh my God. How can you say you love me and you ain't ever seen me? But you can't love your brother that you see every day, right? I need you to understand, not loving somebody as a disciple is not a flex. As a matter of fact, in the eyes of God, you look pretty weird, right? You look pretty weird. Because watch this. Do you imagine, can you imagine how much God had to look through just to love you? How many of us glad we saved? Just raise your hand. How many glad you saved? How many of you glad you saved, but you can't believe you saved? Because you can look back over some stuff, but hold on, not that stuff. I ain't talking about the gossip stuff. I ain't talking about the stuff people talked about you about. That you can handle. I'm talking about the stuff they don't know about. I'm talking about that secret place stuff. That if you think about it and you think about it getting out right now, it terrifies the living heck out of you. Huh? Because here's the reality, right? And I love y'all. I love y'all. You got your t-shirts on, got your makeup on. Oh, y'all look so pretty. But you know you ain't always been you. That today you come further along than that yesterday you. But baby, that yesterday you. Baby, you be up in there itching right now if you were there the yesterday you. Right? You be in here sweating if it's 40 degrees outside if you were still there yesterday you. Right? So what's my point? My point is twofold. Number one, how can I judge you for your faults if God forgave me for mine? Right? And some of us, right? Some of us, you got to take your yesterday, that yesterday you, that I ain't proud of that you. and turn that into a testimony to you, right? Because the same thing, that same yesterday you that you're embarrassed of, that you can't believe you were, that's the same you that you can use to reach future yous or present yous, right? I tell people all the time, I'm done. I tell people all the time, listen, y'all, I hope y'all get to where I'm at. You know why? Because, Devin, I know I ain't perfect. I know I done made mistakes, right? I know every pedestal I've been on, I've never put myself on. I let people do it, right? I know, DeShandra, I've done some stuff that I ain't too proud of, that embarrassed my mama, I know all of that, right? But you know what the mindset I have? Do y'all think I'm going through all of that for nothing? You think I'm not going to learn from that? You think I'm not going to grow from that? You think I'm just going to just go through that and let that like not be part of no testimony? Baby, I'd be in here hunting. I'd be hoping my sinuses is clear so I can smell somebody that's going through what I've been through. Because I can't wait to get my hands on them, right? They did the same stuff that the same mistakes, the same failures, all of that, right? Because I can't wait to tell them how I am them, right? And if God can bring me out of mess, what you think? You know what freaks me out, y'all? Today we was at the thing over here, Carver, right? And I get this a lot. If I see somebody in the store and they say, "Hey, Pastor," 3 times out of 10 I know who they are, right? And then they say, what she say, man? "Hey, Pastor, you not gonna speak to me?" And I'm sitting in my mind. I'm like, no, I didn't intend to, because I don't know who you are, right? And so they had a dialogue, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, you was at Mana and did that and the other." In my mind, I still don't know who the lady is, right? But what I was thinking was, she said, "Pastor." You know what that means? That means I'm still usable. That means God says, I know, but I still got work for you. That means, oh, I heard it too, child. I know, I heard it too. But I still got work for you. That's why I tell people, you need to stop giving up on people. That's why I hate when I hear parents throwing their children away. He ain't gonna worry me. Well, that's what your mama said about you. You know, stop throwing people away. Why don't you lead them to Christ? That way, here it is. That way, if somebody dies, you ain't got to have them guilt tears. You know? Like you just let them be and you never tried to help them, never tried to lead them to Christ. Let me tell you something. You are an asset to God. Imagine that. You are an asset to God. God says, in order for my kingdom to be what it has to be, I'm going to use you to do it. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I want to I'll keep that mindset. Christianity, that's just showing up on Sunday. You ain't got to come on Wednesday. But a disciple, that's challenging. But it's fun. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. Listen. Stand to your feet. Wednesday, look out for our Christmas party information. Also, who volunteered to get a gift for the nursing home? Does anybody who volunteered to give a gift for the nursing home? Okay. Do you not know what I'm talking about? Okay. It's in the group. We're going to refresh the post, right? Saturday, we went to the nursing home. It was absolutely beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful, right? And that is something that I'm going to commit to do every month, is go to the nursing home. Oh, they had so much fun, right? But do y'all know they don't have people? I was talking to my mom about how many people just throw them in a nursing home and leave them. Most of them. Did y'all know that? Most of them. Y'all should have seen when they get their gifts for bingo. They're just so happy. It don't cost much. But they were so, wasn't they happy, darling?